Hi again, I'm back. Bob Burrell with Seven Rivers Talk on the third segment of this very, very interesting and I would call explosive topic of national community organizations, especially here in the state of Wisconsin and now La Crosse. And we're talking with Joelene Churchill, who has been my guest now for the second show, and she's brimful of very, very startling facts and activities that are going on to usurp our churches, as well as maybe usurp our government, according to what you're saying, Joelene. Now, we talked earlier, the last segment, about certain organizations that were helping this trend, and you want to talk about some organizations that you think should be defunded.
Right. There is such power in our money and how we use our money, how we direct it, what kinds of activities we like to support with our dollars. I would encourage all viewers, as we talk about organizations, to not give your money to. One organization I would like to bring up is the American Cancer Society. We have a flyer here that we'd be glad to make available if you'd like to contact us, again, at acornfreechurches@yahoo.com. But this is a little flyer that talks about the American Cancer Society and how this organization last session, legislative session, was very involved in pushing the Gardasil vaccine mandate for Wisconsin's little girls. If you have been following the Gardasil discussion, there have been lots of deaths and injuries you can read about on Judicial Watch's website. Thankfully, a small group of grandmas took on the issue, took on the Cancer Society at the Capitol, and stopped that horrendous bill. According to the American Life League website, the American Cancer Society also funds deadly embryo research. We have other issues that the Cancer Society is involved with. Again, if you'd like to have one of our flyers to pass out, I know that the Cancer Society fundraising is going on right now with their Relay for Life. That is something that Christians should not be supporting. There are other good alternative organizations to the Cancer Society. Another group that I personally boycott is the American Diabetes Association, as well as the American Heart Association. I boycott the Catholic Campaign for Human Development. Again, I am Catholic, and I was very offended a few years back when we learned that the bishops had given $7.3 million to ACORN. I mean, such a controversial organization as this. The Catholic bishops gave $247,000 here in Wisconsin to some of these community organizing groups, and I find that to be very offensive. Again, as a Catholic, I boycott the annual Diocesan Services Appeal Fund. That is because of some of the politics of the Catholic Conference, which is the lobbying arm for the Catholic bishops. We can actually have a whole show about the Catholic Conference. Another organization that I boycott, because I like little unborn babies that have Down syndrome or disabilities, I boycott the March of Dimes. And you can find out more information about the March of Dimes involvement with eugenic abortions on American Life League's website. During our workshops on Alinsky, we talk about out-of-state organizations that come in and influence our elections.
You know, I think I should say that I'm Bob Burrell, and I'm with Joelene Churchill. You're fantastic. Keep it going. But continue on. You were talking about out-of-state funders of what's happening in our government.
Right. During our workshop, we talk about the out-of-state folks that are coming in using their wealth to influence our elections. There was an article from Time magazine in 2008. It's called A Gay Mafia, and this is an article discussing various wealthy homosexual billionaires, and you can see on the second page of the article, the Governor Doyle was part of it. Yeah, so organizations that are doing this kind of activity to our states, I boycott them. One of the companies is Hormel Products, Cork Express, as well as Progressive Insurance. They are referenced in this article, so those are good organizations also for Christians to boycott. Last year, we learned that the University of Wisconsin-Madison had a plan to do late-term abortions on 22-week-old viable babies. As an alumni of the University of Wisconsin, I would urge all people to boycott any funding for the university system until they get this late-term abortion plan out of their agenda. It's just so offensive to think that our university would kill viable babies, and we know of the horrendous research that the UW is doing on embryos. And again, if we can send a strong message to our UW by giving them no dollars.
I'll tell you what, I mean, I was going over all these numbers you're bringing out here and all these groups, and yeah, you know, wow, you're identifying home names, I should say, you know, traditional names of business that have been in our lives for a long, long, long time. Has there been any, you know, feedback or been any flashback from any of these groups that you've talked about?
Well, I think Life Decisions International, which is the group that tracks corporate funding for Planned Parenthood, they're having quite an impact on stopping the flow of cash to these kinds of organizations. We have to know where our dollars are going, what kind of values our dollars are supporting, and that requires vigilance. So sign up with the good pro-life, pro-family groups out there. They will send you out the alerts on what needs to be done, you know, what scandals need to be addressed, and how to route our dollars differently to support a culture that really will support the sanctity of life and the sanctity of families.
You know, I think we should once more identify your email address, which is free ACORN?
ACORN Free Churches.
ACORN Free Churches, there you are.
At yahoo.com.
Jolene, is there anything else that you'd like to add here quickly?
One thing that I'd like to point out is that $36 million was spent last year on lobbying at our state capitol. It is important that the taxpayers of this area really take an interest in politics, get to know your legislators. 1,500 to 2,000 bills pass through our legislature at any given session. So it's very important. One thing I'd also like to point out, going back to this whole community organizing movement, is that David Liners, the leader of Wisdom, again the state affiliate, a few years back he gave money, personal money, to help defeat the one-man, one-woman marriage amendment. And I think that speaks really a great deal about the values behind this organization.
Okay, and also to go to, there's several other emails you can go to, or I should say websites as well, and we hopefully will have them up on the screen for you as well. Thanks to Erica Smith here, who has been working very hard to get you as much information as she can, which is voluminous from you.
One thing I would like to suggest is that people become much more politically involved. One way that they can do that, because we need to counter the Alinsky movement in our state and in our country, is to order a blue book from your state legislators. You can get a copy just by calling the legislative hotline, 1-800-362-9472. Again, 1-800-362-9472. And this is a wonderful book. It tells about our various legislators. It's good to know who are the people that are spending our dollars, what kinds of programs they're supporting, and if they are restricting our constitutional rights, we need to be holding them accountable. Again, they represent us, we pay the bills. So that's a very helpful resource for Christians.
Jolene, thank you so very much for being my guest here on this three-segment about the workshops that you are running, which are titled Take Back Wisconsin from the Radical Left. And you've got her emails, and send out this information to all of your friends and acquaintances as well. Next week, we're going to have with us candidates for Lieutenant Governor of the state of Wisconsin, Dave Ross, Republican, and Spencer Coggs, a Democrat. They'll be with us this coming week. And I want to thank you again very much, Jolene, for being my guest, bringing what I call explosive information.
Yes, it is.
And to all of us here. Looking forward to seeing all of you again next week on KQEG, Channel 23, Channel 4, Channel 5, and I'm Bob Burrell, and you guys all have a good day out there.